Hello, guys, and welcome back to Trekyards. He's Commander Cockings.
He's got a Foley. Oh my god! Hi, Stuart. Welcome.
Hi. Yeah. So we're talking about ships because that's what we do. So, what are we talking? What are we talking about today, Sam?
Well, you know that thing that came and went, and we shared a tear, we shared passion. Prodigy came, went, we brought it back, we finished it. We got the Voyager A, we got Protostar, and we got the Dauntless 2! Yep. There's the ship called Dauntless and Voyager, and Prodigy had Dauntless 2. So the Federation-built version based on the learned things of that. Gosh, we haven't looked at this ship since its first revealed, 2.5-3 years ago now. STO has a model. We're doing renders of it. We're going to look at it graphically. We're going to see how it, because that shows in only so much detail. It's stylized. Let's see how the design really works. Laid bare.
It feels very Star Warsy from this view, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. You guys know, or you should know at least. I'm not the biggest fan of this design. I don't know. There's nothing about it that really looks good from this angle for me personally. I know you like this design.
Why did you say that, Stuart?
I don't know, because you said you like this design.
Well, I had to use the design in various fan films, so I had to work with it. So I had to learn to.
You liked it before that, though.
I liked parts of it. Yes, this is not a flattering angle. And most people haven't made shots with her. So I like her a lot more now because I've worked with her and I've done a lot more than you guys have seen. So she has got some very cool things you can do with her. This is not a flattering angle, but we do the same angles every ship to kind of have the same vibe, and it does kind of look like a shovel, a reversed shovel, just a lot of detail. Now, one thing to note: all of my versions have always been what they are. This ship was defaulted as purple. Thoughts?
Odd choice, but it's a special hull plating for the slipstream drive. It's fine. Wasn't there like a purple nebula in the episode of Voyager, and that's maybe where they got that from?
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I mean, especially you see it at Warp quite a lot, and Warp is now a multicolored tunnel of delight. So yeah, and I mean, I do think, for what's worth, this is a really nice replica of the one from the show. This looks and feels like because that was animated but with a lot of textural detail. Lower Decks we've done recently was no textural detail really, and they've added it after. This kind of feels like a nice reproduction, but it's purple. Yeah, and the thing I've always been bemused by. There's 3 blinkies and like a front spine. They're tiny and they're all red. What? Yeah, with my version, again, I added weapons because this has no visible weapons. I added torpedoes and phasers. So to go back to version 1, it's fine if it's a test ship, right? But it wasn't. So it's I have not gone back to look at the original for a long time. It's definitely lacking a few things while still being very faithfully Dauntless from the show. And I said there are better views. Certainly lacking some stuff. Weapons. I mean, it's kind of got RCS thrusters, kind of.
It needs those because that's what it fires its phasers out of.
Doth fire weapons. And funnily enough, in my version, when I did my reference, the front is meant to have like a much darker paneling, and it's really subtle. Like the amount of it, it's just a little tip and then a middle bit. Like it's far more gently layered. Yeah, not the best view. Now the next view, while yes, the cutting is weird, all the fun details come to play except the slipstream drive. What do you think they're seeing this version?
It's just so gangly and weird shaped that it just bugs me. I like push those nacelles out, like have it feel. It would just feel better to me. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here for me, and interestingly, like rounded and curved shapes, which I don't necessarily not thinking to be there. So I don't know. It's very organic-y. And not good organic-y like the Galaxy class.
So if it was based on alien design and then reverse engineered a bit. But I mean, if the brief was make Dauntless but Federation, right?
I mean, I could have done a better job.
Oh, there's a challenge. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do like this view. It is silly with a giant cut in, but it does feel fast. It does feel like it's sliced through butter, right? There is a certain. I can see the logic of that kind of. And I do quite like the fact that the warp engines are for some reason 2 entirely different shape patterns. A front gentle, casual tube, and then the bottom is a more Voyager-esque whatever. But they integrate so seamlessly. I don't. Where is the transition point between the shape styles? I have no idea, but it's so organically nice. With like 19 warp grills.
Also, the impulse engine grills are unique and interesting, but they're kind of in the hull there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky because the Dauntless has, like, Prometheus has very similar to those impulse drives in the saucer, right? But I've never known what the ones in the hull are, because, right? Why are there lines? I don't know. I assume there's some other emitter, but then why are they red? But would it be cool to have side-firing impulse slits?
Sure.
Trying to reverse slipstream after an immediate right turn?
Yeah.
You know?
Perfect.
Someone knows what's in the cut-in. It's just like 4 giant pillar grills. And there is a shuttle bay in the bottom where the Dauntless is. What do you think should have been in that cut-in if the cut-in was even to remain? Because obviously you could organically connect it. It'd be lovely. But what if there wasn't just 4 grills there, what would you put in a kind of very organic, almost cave-like structure?
Greeblies. I don't know.
So would you like to see a giant shuttle bay? Or almost like the Excelsior bottom bit? Or is that too much?
Would have been too much. I think you could put a 2 like layered shuttle bay in there. 2 doors would have worked, I think, really well.
And in fact, had you done that, then all the lights coming from that bay would have illuminated the entire zone. That would look quite cool.
Yeah, I think something like that would work in there.
We know that the Infinity from season 2 is a much bigger ship, so maybe it's designed to have small ship shuttle bay bottom, and then like the Insurrection travel scout ship and like Infinity. Would that have been logical to have? So if that had been a bay, does designate auxiliary craft like a big one? Big
yeah, probably. Yeah, that would have worked too.
Because especially if the logic of this ship is it can actually traverse proper distances. So it would make sense to have a proper mission-capable secondary craft on standby. Let's look at the next view, bottom back. We get to see what is just ostensibly just the Dauntless from Voyager. Everything in the bottom is 1-for-1, which I love, because I love that design. It's a really cool piece. What do you think of the nacelles, though? Now you see more of their depth.
They look a little bit better from this angle. I like the grills on the bottom of the front there. But yeah, I think the shapes work really well here. I just wish they were pushed out further, not so close together.
Yeah, it's definitely stylistically Dauntless versus stylistically Federation.
Yeah.
In the way they did that. Or even had they had like if you go Voyager logic, you know, maybe nacelles that go for like warp and then in for slipstream. Would have been kind of fun. I don't necessarily understand why, but I do quite like the very tiny slit coil. I mean, they're not coils, obviously, they're just seeing inside to where there are coils. But I've always quite liked that, because when they light in the scenes I've done, they have a fun effect. It's these little slices. Any thoughts on a lower saucer with all the various things?
At least you got some phaser strips there.
Maybe?
They're the right shapes. They're a little small, but...
Yeah, there is, I say maybe with a giantly comedic voice, is that at firing arc is garbage.
Yeah, I know. Because it's an overlap.
Yep. Because they're on the actual Dauntless, but this angle is less drastic, I think. I think it's slightly more... Still not very good, but there are escape pods, which I also believe are on Dauntless as well, in the bottom. Good to see. I like they even took what looks like the star texturing from the Dauntless to be the deflector, because I know that grilling well. Well, hard to light this sort of angle, because like the curve of everything is kind of like you got to bounce light a bit. I don't know. I like how many glows the ship has. Because it's all about the drive, right? Everything here is we need all these things to expel energy to create a force, a field to create slipstream. So at least it has a certain. I get that, right? Next to those front forward, the classic view, which I think that works reasonably well as a piece.
Yeah, I mean it's not the worst view of it.
Woo! We got one. We got one, everybody.
Something about the nacelles though seem very Kelvinish to me.
Said that about the Prostar. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
in different way, of course. Yeah.
Bizarre collectors have an interesting look. So.
Same as Prostar. There's definitely always been a missing anything in the lower neck secondary hull. Like there's just Like, plates make the world go round in modern Trek. Why is it? It has plate detail. And luckily, I think that hides it a little bit, because everything's kind of curved and has a flow. There's not really empty space per se. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I had a torpedo launchers places. Like, we had a weapons, but there's definitely something missing there. But, and I never knew this because we don't have the model, that front pod is now a torpedo launcher. At least it looks like. There's a little grilly thing. I would hazard that's the Ford torpedo launcher, like intended to be, which makes sense, right? Sovereignty style launcher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems very just kind of stuck on though, not very integrated or.
I mean, the ease is also kind of stuck on.
Yeah, I suppose.
This is worse, but.
Yep.
Yeah, the original Dauntless is just a curve thing, so at least they kind of added some function. What bothers me with this model is that, as in this version, is that there are. So above the slipstream drive, before the torpedo launcher maybe, there is slight cut-ins into the hull, but they're just covered in more plate detailing. They're begging for something distinct and unique there to kind of give more form follows function, but there's just bland texturing. What do you think?
Sure, greebly it up. I do make it like Voyager and put some greeblies in there. You could do that. That would work.
It feels like this should be something the other isn't. Yeah, but like I said, I don't know a few things with the ship I quite like it zippy. But let's have the ultimate judgment though. The top and bottom. Again, I know this well because we could build apparently a very good replica because it's very close to ours. How do you feel? Are you now a fan? Do you love it? Are you sold?
No. It's a garden shovel with a very uncomfortable looking handle. Push those nacelles out for Christ's sakes, and then it would be an all right shape. Have the struts sweep back a little bit. You know, like there's things I would do to change it.
Yeah, no, it's imbalanced in a charming way. Is how I've come to terms with it.
Is it though?
I've got so many films that I've got like
definition of charming.
I have so many films that end though. I like that. I like the glows. I actually really like the texturing here. Like I know the texturing. I think the plate detail has a certain vibe to it. I mean, I can see the mirror point. You know, you can see it's just, but actually, I think that actually kind of works. So I commend them for its good texturing. But yeah, I mean, I certainly wish, quote unquote, they had. Although again, that's part of the charm of it. They'd extended the saucer into the rather than just being a giant hole. It's characterful. Integrate it all. I would love to have seen some. You know, I'm a big proponent of the Rick Sternbuck Voyager big cut-in window zones. They had a lot of depth, a lot of scale detail, and a lot of ability inside windows. I really wish this incorporated them because I feel like, fine, yeah, slipstream, maybe it needs more hull strength, blah blah blah. They had such a lot of detail to add those in. I feel anyway.
The deflector thing on the bottom is quite an interesting shape and look.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom is just pure Dauntless, and the top is where it all kind of skews a bit. I assume you're fine with the slipstream drive also acting as a deflector, all kind of one single, or is it just the deflector acting as slipstream, I suppose?
Yeah, no problem with that at all, honestly. Makes sense.
I do wish they had a secondary deflector load like Voyager and Equinox. There's obviously grilling that could infer. I wish there'd been another glow up there. That'd have been nice.
Yeah, it definitely plays for it, so.
But next view, I know the ship so well, none of these are even... We did a really good job, Nick. I mean, you. You did a really good job, Nick, because I was really close to this. How'd you feel?
Side view's not so bad, honestly. Again, I'd maybe extend the length of the nacelles a tad, personally, but...
Okay. Not push them back? Okay.
No. But from the front and the back, I would definitely push them out.
Straight sides or with any sort of other angles?
Straight, slightly down, maybe, but...
Yeah, so keeping that angle just further out.
Yeah. It's got a very, like, face look to it from the front. And again, it feels Star Wars-y with the way that the windows are. It feels like kind of Star Destroyer-y.
There is a little bit of that, yeah.
Yeah, and even the side there. Back just feels awkward.
Maybe those grills are implying like exhaust vents for slipstream pollution. Because there's a lot of the design is just 8 big grills. Oh, I see some under detail in the bottom view. In the under bit. What if they're like more shuttle bay design bits? One of the things I do actually quite like that was fun to, because I textured this when Nick sent me the models as an R version, so I had to really look at it. I have no idea why it's there, no clue. But there's a black cut-in at the top of the saucer, which just cuts in, has more windows, and there's glass over it, so there's a slight reflective skew, and it's like, okay. Just have random cut-in with 3 layers. Okay, sure, why not? Why not? But you know what? I like that, as daft as it is. Again, these little things add some character. But I am biased. I've done a lot of work with her. I mean, hey, hell, she's like nothing else, right? I mean, would you say she's... Okay, would you say she's as equally Oberth weird as the Oberth is for her era?
No. Because the Oberth has a graceful kind of elegance to it.
Well,
this doesn't.
But I mean, stylistically weird to what the standards are of the era. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're side by side, but it flows. This...
Sure.
I mean, you don't have to agree. I'm just saying, like, it's equally weird, potentially.
I see what you're saying, and yes, I kind of agree.
Whereas, like, the Voyager A is far more in the skew of what we'd expect, right? But let's look at some detail shots. Again, game model, so caveat. Here's the cut-in I talked about. In my version, in the ones I've referenced, for a glassy feel in front. Don't know why they're there. They're very different arrangement of windows. I mean, I will not trust that per se, because the game model meant to be far away, because otherwise I guess either slit windows.
Yeah.
Or, but I like the idea of it.
Yeah. Is there a hatch, a cargo hatch door there or something?
There could be.
What is that? Like...
Yeah, there's definitely there's cut-ins I wish there was stuff happening with. Oh yeah, I forgot there's no blinkings at those 3 red ones. There is on the nacelles, but yeah, we added a few things back to our one. Now the front view, it's a shoe, definitely a shoe, and you can see that little grilling and the 2 more ring details if they were to launch on the bottom. I guess they are here as well potentially. So really inset torpedo launchers.
It feels very shuttle like NASA shuttle orbiter vibes from this. The color, the even the 3 circles are very much like the actual thrusters on the shuttle.
Yeah.
It's like they took that kind of design elements.
This is a weird ship, right? Fair to say, it's a bit of a weird one. Next view, I think this looks kind of great. I think the slipstream looks amazing. I like the facades and such here. I think this looks really, really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly just Dauntless original, but
yeah,
pro Star Wars-ish.
Again, though, the odd choice for windows, because there's way different sizes all over the place, shapes and sizes.
I assume those are the arboretum-y style.
Sure, yeah.
Which I'd be fine with. I don't know why there's no lower sensor dome. It's just kind of just a detail. It's missing the je ne sais quoi there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then the nacelles dedicated. Again, I like the glows. We finally see some red and green blinkies. And in the real version, so this is one thing the model hasn't done, in the real version, red and green, and then there's 3 little stick outs. They're meant to have white blinkies or white lights. So they missed them on this one. Because it'd be very, very small. I mean, my goodness, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting nacelle vibe for sure. A few different looks going on, which I appreciate.
But they don't conflict. Like, it's overly detailed, but it's doing slipstream, right? I like the potential logic.
Yeah.
And what the hell are those red slits meant to be?
The red slits, they're just the banner. They're just the Federation banner stripes.
Or they're ready for the Cylons to take over. Because they can't give that vibe. But final, though, is another view we kind of saw from the show, kind of top side. Right, now you've seen her in detail. I'm sure you've seen my films with her as well. Like her less, like her more, any more respect, any more distaste. Again, I'm biased. I like her. She's I guess a guilty pleasure ship for me. I do like the original Dauntless more, I will say. And in fairness, I think this would be a fun one if you and me, in the far future, like redesign Dauntless shapes to be something more, how we would do them. You could say I sort of did that with Horizon, but not really. But I'd love to see like your version of take the basics of this and make it how your brain says yes.
Yeah.
That'd be very interesting.
It would be, yeah.
Right, what are your final thoughts on Dauntless 2?
Still not a big fan. I think it's a weird design step for Starfleet to take, but I get why they did it based on the episode of Voyager that has, the Dauntless. So it's a nice inclusion that they did that, and I think it speaks to a different kind of technology use, which is very obvious. So I can get behind it, but it's just not the biggest fan of it, honestly. But I appreciate what they're doing and what they tried to do with it. So
yeah, it's definitely one where it has character. You might like the character, but it's definitely bold. We know that some choices were made and then potentially wished other choices were made in production. Things have time limits, things need to be put into film. So had they had a bit more time, which sounds silly on a TV show, but TV shows often have limits of time, right? Maybe they would have done it differently, but having filmed with it plenty, I like it. It has some fun vibes. And like you say, yeah, it's super specialized, and it does feel super specialized. Like the ProStar, right? ProStar is not like anything else. And let's be honest, we have both criticized Voyager A for being too Sovereign meets E.
Yeah.
And what is it doing? I'm not sure. This, at least, I can understand exactly what it's trying to do and why. So what do you guys think? Do you like it more, less, the same? Are you going to check out my fan films on Power 5 3 fan films? Yes, you are! See Dauntless. Well done, Steve, for making a nice replica.
Yes. So let us know in the comments section what you guys think of it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that like button and come and join us for other videos and lives where we hang out with you guys and do so many fun, cool things.
And if you want to support what we do here every week, then please do via Patreon. It's a monthly way, or join the channel, also monthly, either 5, 10, 50, whatever absolutely helps us a lot, or one-time donations via super chatting. Join our lives, say hi, and then say hi with a $5 or whatnot. Be part of the fun, the conversation, and the game show mentality we have with some of those things. Kind of interactive fun with you all. Super thanks on any video, any amount, any video. Thank you. Or just, like and subscribe, all this down stuff. Anything helps, so please do any and all.
That's right. So until next time, he's Commander Cockings.
He's kind of Foley.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.